So I think I've gotten to this place where, for the first time since starting this YouTube channel, I've identified a project, a book that I'm going to see through to completion. I'm feeling the sense of potential. I'm feeling the sense of vision, the energy. Things in my life are coming together to allow this book to happen. It's a moment of like anticipation and excitement and thrill. And I want to share it with you. And I also just want to tell you about this book. I want to tell you about the vision for it. What's it about? I want to tell you about the influences and inspirations. I want to tell you about a publishing plan. I just want to put this writing vlog into the universe here to start, to begin. And if there's one thing I really have come to appreciate about YouTube, it's witnessing artists and writers make progress on projects over years and then eventually happening them. And I think that I'm really setting out on something special right now, and I want to kind of get into a vlog mode where I'm documenting it. This book that I'm referring to, it's going to be a collection of short stories. I want to come up with some kind of fun working title for it so that we can keep track of it together and follow it along. But what I can tell you about it for now is that it takes place in the woods. It takes place somewhere in the rural Pacific Northwest. It involves a similar cast of characters. There's fathers, there's sons, there's a small town. A lot of it takes place on a ranch. There's animals, there's deer, there's dead wolves, there's cattle loose. It's in this direction. It's literary fiction. And right now the collection is 3 stories in. And I know that this is a collection because all these 3 stories, the most recent 3 stories that I've been working on, exist within this universe. And that's what gave me the idea. It's like, oh my gosh, you're writing a collection. I've been writing short stories for maybe 6 months now, and all of a sudden they are starting to coalesce, not just around a similar world and set of characters, but also a type of writing, a type of fiction, a certain kind of style. And so part of today's video, I just kind of want to go through some of these things that have really inspired this project and oriented it. And I think so far what I've been reading that gives me the best emotional reference for what the experience of reading these stories should feel like, or what I want them to feel like to folks, is Faulkner. And I'm like right off the boat here with the Faulkner train. I've only read 4 of his short stories. My mom just came down and brought me these 2 giant collections of more. So I'm about to like really dig in earnest and get the pencil out and, deconstruct these stories and identify why they are making me feel so much. But in terms of the experience of these stories, this is the aspiration, a story that just hits you emotionally, that goes deep, trauma, abuse, love, powerful stuff. This collection is going to attempt those things. So in terms of kind of what this writing wants to do, this is my North Star, Mr. Faulkner here. In terms of world, Stephen Graham Jones, the Native American writer, I'll talk about that. Formally, in terms of the formal nature of these stories, my guidepost is Samanta Schweblin, who I love and adore. This is a writer that I'm so taken by right now in every way that if she comes to Mexico City, where I live, on her current book tour, I don't think I'll go, because careful about meeting your heroes. That is where I'm at with this writer right now. And I bring her up because most of her stories are written in the first person, and they're written in the present. And that is the form of my stories. And so I'm really using her as a guide formally. It's like, how do you construct narratives in that form? What she's doing experientially is this kind of weird fiction. It's horror adjacent. It makes you feel very uncomfortable, which I love as a reader. But a recent realization is that that's not exactly what I'm doing as a writer. So stop trying to be Samanta Schweblin. But what you are doing, like she does, is first person present tense. So study it. So that's what's up with this. Other influences: Stephen Graham Jones, This is more like world, like his writing. I don't like love his writing, but I love his world. And it reminds me of my childhood, just like a lot of times in the woods, a lot of time with animals, trucks, guns, not a lot of money all the time, just some gutter stuff. And he gets in there. And so there's like a resonance there in his books that I am trying to summon as well. And I want to say I had one other really important influence written down here in my notes. Oh yeah, okay, so stylistically, a real inspiration for me has been the Norwegian Nobel Prize winner, Jon Fosse, who I read a novella by him called Alice at the Fire, which blew me away. I read this book and then I got the audiobook because I wanted, to the best of my ability, to experience it new again. This book is written in one sentence. There's a complete rejection of convention in terms of punctuation. There's a fluidity and an impressionistic nature that is so erotic almost, or kind of just like so immersive, and I love it. I love it. So stylistically, that is kind of a point of reference for me. And what Fosse manages is, he's working in his own idiom. It is reckless, I'm learning, to try to emulate that too much, because it's clear that the logic underneath his stream of consciousness is his, but it's providing a point of inspiration. So collectively, this is the inspiration. These are my touchstones, right? For the world, for the themes, the heart of it, the formal considerations, first person, present, and then the stylistic, the prose itself. What kind of sentences do I want to write for this project? So that's the foundation from an inspiration point of view. These are the resources that I will continue to referring to time and time again in the next few months. I'm talking about them all the time on my live streams, if you're ever on the live streams. The publication plan. So, while I'm engaging with this project, first and foremost, as an artist, sort of coming at this from the most idealistic version possible, I'm attacking this as, can I produce literature? What can I write? How powerful can I move people with my words? I also am trying to build a career. And so I do have a plan to publish this book, or a sort of a strategy at least. And I'd like, ideally, to traditionally publish this collection, not unlike Samanta Schweblin, who has built a really great, exciting, dynamic career, basically by publishing short story collections, which is kind of unheard of, but I would love to do that. And so what I've been doing is, okay, what did she do? What did other writers that have this kind of trajectory that I want do? I'm looking at Carmen Machado, author of In the Dream House, My Body and Other Parties. I like her career. I like who she is. What has she done? And the path, as far as I can tell, is to try to start publishing these stories in increasingly prestigious publications. So I'm a new fiction writer. My background is in screenwriting, and I have some credits. I wrote a series for Audible that won some awards, but that's a series. And so I'm really kind of starting at the bottom floor when it comes to fiction. So what I'm doing right now with the first story, I'm about 3 stories in. Kind of like the first story is finished. The second story is like third draft. The third story is like just off the presses. I'm trying to submit that first story to literary magazines, Cachet, whatever, sending that out. And then as the stories come out and hopefully I get more credits, I can start inching up, and in some kind of dream world, by the time I get to story 12, the last story in the collection, that's on the desk of the Paris Review. And maybe they say no, but they read it. Because by then it's like, maybe they've heard word of this guy, Asa. Maybe one of the readers read one of his stories. Or the Paris Review just publishes it, right? But that's the vision strategically. I'm looking at residencies, trying to build out the kind of life that is conducive to publishing a literary fiction collection of short stories, which is a very hard thing to do. To make all this happen, I'm working every day, 9 to noon on this YouTube channel. There is a community of writers. If you are a writer, this community could be for you, putting in the time, reading, writing at this desk every day. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think of this project. If you have good things to say about it, I'm excited. I hope you're excited too.